Hello and welcome to Northfleet School for Girls BBC News School Report.
I'm Nimra.
And I'm Hannah.
Today's top stories are Northfleet School for Girls Garden,
a trip to Barcelona,
BBC Three,
transport,
Hour of Code,
sports
and weather.
Here is the lead story of the school news.
Over to the garden group with Manfred and Joy.
Behind communication and culture, we find a garden. At Northfleet School for Girls there has always been a garden, and we are now looking to renew this area. The future plans of the garden are to have different types of trees that provide food for the school and community. Students and staff have a say in what the garden looks like and what is grown there. In recent weeks, the eco team have been raising money for new apple trees to be planted and give a greater range of fruit alongside our older varieties. Their big dig was a success in raising money, and trees will be planted next week. It's not only trees that the students want to see, they would also like carrots, potatoes, raspberries and cherries. These are being planted as part of the Year 7 and 8 technology lessons.
Recently, our school got their first visit from Hay Gardens. We are involved in a new project working with adults with learning difficulties to help develop a community. They told us what they enjoyed about gardening and told us what we could do to improve our garden and make it better.
About the garden at Hague Gardens?
Yeah.
What do you do in the garden there, Karen?
Well, in the garden, we put plants in. We build like that. You see that thing over there?
Yeah.
We've done one of those.
What's it called, Karen?
It's
for the bugs.
Bug home.
Bug hotel.
Bug hotel. We built that. Favourite flower? It has to be a rose because I'm interested. Like roses.
Like roses. How do you think gardening? What do you like about gardening?
If I describe it, I think it's therapeutic, and it's also fun.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you. Describe your garden in Hague.
Yes.
What's in your garden at Hague Gardens, John? What's it like?
Nice.
What have you got in there?
Flowers, broad beans.
Broad beans?
And carrots.
Excellent.
What's your favourite flower?
Daffodil and tulips. Roses.
Students should be taught about the garden.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do think that.
What's your favourite thing about gardening?
Like planting things. Yeah, we like being outside, don't we, Jean? Yeah.
Also, we interviewed a French teacher, Miss Chabot. She told us about her views on gardening as she is a passionate gardener. She believes students should be taught about gardening. She has expressed her passion for gardening from when she was very young.
When did you get involved in gardening and why?
At a very early age, actually, because my dad was a keen gardener. It was a hobby, so I used to help him in a garden. We used to plant seeds and everything. So to spend loads of quality time with my dad, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. So when I was a very little girl, which is a very long time ago, and I still, do my little garden and really enjoy it. It's a very relaxing thing to do.
Okay. Do you think
students should be taught about gardening in schools?
I do indeed. I encouraged my base group to plant bulbs. We did last year, and so we've had daffodils outside our room. And also in the past I did, when I used to have mobiles, always plant loads of things around. I think it's lovely. It's such a good feeling to work together and then see things grow and then enjoy the beautiful flowers together as well. It's just great, a great skill.
Do you think gardening will be beneficial for the environment?
Yes, provided it's done properly, that it's not intensive, like those big greenhouses where they have tons and tons of bulbs in there. I think if it's well done, like I said, with natural fertilizers and all that, absolutely, because particularly for the bees, the birds, the butterflies and things like that, so it's very good. Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, guys. Now for a trip to Barcelona with Becca and Megan.
Thank you, Nima. Megan and I now have a short clip to show you about the Year 10s and 11s trip to Barcelona.
She's keen to talk about her amazing trip in Barcelona.
Hi. We have recently returned from visiting Barcelona earlier this month. We were able to take 28 students away with us, and we had the opportunity to spend 3 days in this fabulous city, which has got an immense amount of culture and art. We were able to go and see a variety of different galleries, looking at some contemporary and historical pieces of work. We were able to see a range of photographers. We were able to soak up some of the city's most famous architecture by the famous Gaudi. Okay, I don't know if you guys have heard of him at all. He's renowned for doing some fantastic pieces of work, and they are all over the city. So students were able to absorb that, take photographs, do some drawings. We were able to fly there and back courtesy of British Airways, and we had a lovely time. The weather was amazing, and we very much look forward to doing the same trip or something similar to another exciting European destination in the very near future. So thank you.
On the 10th of March we went to Barcelona for 3 days. We visited many places such as the Sagrada Familia and Park Güell, which were created by famous artist Gaudi. This was a really worthwhile trip as it helped us with the projects we're studying in art.
That looks very interesting. Up next, Charlie, Heather and Judy reporting about BBC 3 only being available online.
They pre-recorded their video as one of their team members, Charlie, couldn't be here to take part in this report.
What's happening to BBC 3? From digital TV to online only. What is happening? Well, BBC 3 is moving off air and onto your computer screens. The BBC has announced BBC 3, one of the corporation's first digital channels, is to become an exclusively online channel, accessible only via its iPlayer services. BBC 3 officially launched in 2003, although it initially began life in 1998 as BBC Choice. The first BBC channel is to air exclusively on digital spectrum. Over to Judy for more information.
Thank you, Charlie. As Charlie has said, the BBC 3 is going off terrestrial TV for good and is now only online. Director General Tony Hall said that there is not enough money in the budget to keep it on TV. We asked 4 classes with around 25 girls in each, 100 girls in total, how many of them watch BBC 3, and 60 out of the 100 girls do. Over to you, Heather.
Thank you, Judy. Now, as you may already know, BBC 3 is one of the biggest channels on TV, after BBC 1 of course, and it's brought us some of the most well-watched and well-loved TV programmes. Some of these are Come Fly With Me, Little Britain, Russell Howard's Good News, Gavin and Stacey, Being Human, and quite a few more. All of these shows and new ones as well, such as Hair, will all be online. Thank you for listening.
That is a shame, but thank you for your fascinating report. Now up, Ellie, Stephanie and Emily with Transport.
Hello, we are Steph, Ellie and Emily. There is a large difference in girls riding bikes to school compared to boys. Why is this?
It might be because you live too far away, or because you're embarrassed.
Barely any girls ride their bikes. Here's Miss Manning to tell us why it would be a good idea to ride your bike to school.
It's the fastest, easiest way to get here. it's cost effective, and it keeps me fit and healthy.
Now we'll look at why we have so many bike sheds.
This is Mrs Davies to tell us why.
The reason we have so many bike sheds is that when the school was rebuilt, the architects thought that you would all come to school on your bikes. And you'll see from our travel plan that every year we ask students and staff how many come to school on bikes. Since we had all those bike sheds, we've actually increased the number by 400%, which gives us the grand total of 8 people that will use a bike in the summer.
Now do you feel motivated to ride your bike?
Thank you for that, you've definitely motivated me. Next up is our Hour of Code by the Year 7s.
8 Year 7 pupils were invited by Microsoft to join other schools around the country to the Hour of Code at Westminster City School. We think more girls should get involved in programming as well because people think of it as a manly job. Here is an interview on Miss Cooper, our ICT teacher.
Who can do code and how does it affect life?
Anybody can do code. Anyone can code their own programs, their own games, anything they like if they've got the determination to learn how to do it. The good thing about coding is that it enables you to improve your logical thinking skills. So once you've got the basics of it, you can follow tutorials online. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube, Code Academy, lots of websites where you can learn to code.
What coding sites are there?
There's a range of different coding sites that you can go on online. Code Academy is a really, really good one. I'd advise you to start there. That allows you to code in all different languages like JavaScript, Python, Ruby and HTML as well, which is really useful. I would probably definitely start there. Another place you could go is YouTube. If you're looking at Kodu tutorials, for example, that would be a good place to look. And also there's a website called Khan Academy that has some really good JavaScript tutorials.
Should girls code?
Girls should definitely get into coding. Across Europe there's 900,000 jobs in the IT industry that are currently unfilled, and unfortunately there's a real lack of women going into the industry. It's a really high paid career and they're crying out for more women and more different views for going into the industry. So for girls it's certainly a very prosperous career path if you were to choose that coding as a career option.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Over 3 million people have already tried the Hour of Code. Nearly 900,000 jobs in the coding industry are free. Over 1.3 billion lines of code are written by students. Only 17.4% of women in England went into computer science at university in the year 2012. These pictures are showing children creating a game on Kodu programming their characters by code. They have to code the whole game for the game to be successful.
Thank you for that great report. For other news, we have Megan with sports.
Earlier today I spoke to General Manager Dave Archer of Ebbsfleet United. He answered questions given by students and teachers at Northfleet School for Girls. Here are some of his answers. We asked him how many supporters roughly come to games. He said they are very well supported and at least 200 fans travel in the Fleet Trust coach alone. We also asked how the players got to their away games. He said that players go there on their own and will leave at 2 o'clock today as they have a match. They then stop at the hotel and have a meal and get ready for kick-off at 7:45 tonight. We asked him who he thought was going to win. He said it's going to be a tough game, but they are very confident due to winning before against Gosport Borough. He said that women's supporters have increased and all supporters, men and women, are in a healthy position to go. They have 1,150 supporters at the moment on average and hope to get 1,500 per game. 2 of our teachers have quoted. One of them said, "I'm a big believer in grassroots football and follow the local leagues. I'm very impressed with Ebbsfleet United." Another teacher said, "Brown's boys should easily bag 3 points away from home tonight when they travel to Hampshire to face the 19th place Gosport Borough. However, perhaps Borough shouldn't be underestimated as they are battling against a drop into relegation placings. Either way, the Fleet have been fantastic this season." If you want to find out more about Ebbsfleet, they are on the One Show tonight.
Ebbsfleet United sound like a great team. Now, over to Amy, Sarah, Elizabeth and Ellie to talk about the weather.
Welcome to Northfleet School for Girls Weather Report. Well,
For Gravesend, today it's looking a bit chilly with some showers with highs of 10 degrees, but at the end of the day when you're walking home from school, it's drying up a little bit, but there's a chance of a small shower. Moving on to the weekend, it's looking a lot drier with highs of 14 degrees on Saturday and highs of 15 on Sunday. Now over to Lizzie for the report of Portsmouth.
If you're heading down to Portsmouth to watch the football tonight, don't worry, today's showers from 11 to 12 would have gone drying up so you can have a rain-free game. On the other hand, the temperatures from 5 to 9 will range from 8 to 7 degrees, so grab your winter warmers and head down to Portsmouth. Over to Amy with the weather in Westminster.
Plan to head down to Westminster. Don't worry, as the weather will warm up once we head into the weekend. The weather on both days is looking dry and warmer, as the temperatures range from highs 19 degrees and lows 8 degrees. Now over to Ellie with the weather in Barcelona.
2 weeks ago, the Year 10s went on their Barcelona art trip. The weather currently in Barcelona is quite sunny, but if there was any earlier rain, it has cleared. The highest degrees will be 13 and the lowest will be 6. Moving forward to the weekend, there will be a light cloud and still looking dry. The highest will be 15 and the lowest will be 13 degrees. Over to Sunday, there will be mostly rain all day, but the weather isn't too cold as the highest is 15 and the lowest is 9. So make sure you have a raincoat.
Thank you for that. That was very helpful. And thank you all for watching. All our stories and further footage can be viewed from the School Report website, and you can find the link for the School Report website from Northfleet School for Girls school website. Goodbye.